This is 2597 Keele Street in Toronto, owned by McDane Investments and operated by Andy Catrona. The superintendents are Ariel and Sylvia Sofa. The building looks good in a picture from a distance, however, that changes as you get closer. So we are going to take a few minutes and explore the outside of the building first. This is the southmost door to the building, and recently the lock has been changed to exit only to keep tenants from entering. However, that's not all tenants cannot do with this door, but we'll get back to that in a later video called Touring the Inside. Viewers, meet the superintendent, Ariel. We caught him in his second home today, fortunately. Yes, he does have a very high opinion of his tenants. As I said, a high opinion. Let's move right along. This door enters the building from the parking lot. After about 2 years since its last repair, it got fixed again.
Locking, but you can't fit into the thing.
Evidently, repairing this lock won't let the tenants enter. As we continue to walk around, notice the brickwork. Yes, visitors, you may want to invest in a safety helmet. The first time I noticed this was in August of 2011 when a piece fell next to me, and another piece fell in January 2012 in my presence. With all that debris on the ground, how can you not tell that the wall is falling? It's now about a year later, and management is still ignoring this issue. But remember, your safety is of grave concern to McDane Investments. Continuing around the building, oh yeah, you'll have to wear your rubber boots. Don't have a pair? Then buy some. Notice all the dog poo on the grass. This footage was taken from January 11, 2012 until the snow covered it. So, if you plan on having a picnic or work on your tan, I can tell you that it is really a shitty idea. However, the dogs do enjoy this area, but some of their owners refuse to pick up after their dog. With that self-important attitude they have about themselves, can you imagine the inside of their apartments? While we are out here and snow has fallen, let's explore the parking lot. If we get snow removal once per winter of late, we are lucky. These pictures have been taken over the last 2 winters. I have older pictures going back about 15 years, and most of them are worse than what you're looking at here. And remember, we did not get much snow this past winter. As you'll see, the snow is left on the ground to eventually turn into ice and remains that way for the entire season. Areas that tenants need to use to enter and exit the building are left in a dangerous icy state. Even salt is not used in the greater area, and even on the steps it's been very scarce. Every winter tenants have fallen and been seriously hurt, but management does nothing to provide safety for them. On several occasions in past winters I had to lend my shovel to tenants so they can dig their cars out. As you can see here, neighboring buildings are able to maintain safe conditions. This group of pictures are of particular interest to me. On this day, as I was exiting the building, Terry Rorrell was pushing the snow into the passage. We got into a brief argument about the stupidity of his actions to deliberately create an unsafe condition. With his limited intelligence and in a bolstering voice, he asked, "So where should I push it?" Can you guess what my first thought was? Well, I gave him my last thought, which was to push it to the back of the building where it would not create an unsafe condition and interfere with the tenant's reasonable use of the complex. Evidently, that was too much for him to comprehend, so he just left. That snow was shoveled out of the passage by a tenant. He too finally got fed up and moved out shortly after. Garbage can be an issue at times since it does get overloaded and left that way for months. You can also get your clothes ripped and marked up if you try to do the right thing and start using the one behind it, as it had happened to a new winter coat of mine. This is the main entrance. The snow stopped falling at about 11 a.m. By about 6 p.m., it still had not been cleaned or salted. Moving right along to enter from the main door. Oh yeah, safety helmets first. McDane group of employees are at work. Now, you work your way past the building drunk, Broody. I think he is acting security with Sylvia, the superintendent. At this time, the dogs are patrolling other areas of the property. Don't worry, Ariel supports this as well. You use your key to enter the building, but have to play with the lock before it opens. pray you don't need to go wee-wee. Then you check your mail, only to have Ariel aggressively step in front of you, forcing you to step back or get bumped. And if you dare to question it, he'll tell you.
I don't give a fuck. Period.
And what about all the viewers?
I don't give a fuck. Period.
Now that you managed to get this far, you'll work your way to your apartment just to find and have to deal with. If you want to know, you'll have to wait for a video titled Touring the Inside. I hope you enjoyed this segment.